Welcome to the Small Scape on Saturday. Boy, do I have a cool pro tip for you today. Well, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. I have another pro tip that I mentioned and I promised to you last week, week before. This is another tip that I got from Jeff Miyake. He does a lot of competition aquascapes. He's very, very talented. And also, this has been confirmed. I got some insider info from James with James Nature Aquatics. Both of these guys are very, very helpful with any questions you might have, and they're also extremely talented. I highly recommend that you check them both out. But what is this tip? It's not the first tip that I think is really cool, but it's the second tip that totally blew my mind. So what is this magical tip? Well, you can use super glue. If you didn't know, yes, you can use super glue, cyanoacrylate, in an aquarium. It's safe for fish, it's safe for plants, it's safe for your aquarium water. It's all good. Now, my favorite brand is BSI, Bob Smith Industries brand. I thought I had it up here. I think it went down the basement. This is just a different brand, but it works with any kind of brand. What is the tip? This is for hardscaping. So the professional aquascapers are frequently building their aquascape. It's not just a single piece of driftwood and a few rocks. They are building these amazing, amazing aquascapes. So a lot of super glue is involved. What is the order? This is the first tip. First, you have, this is just a little example. You have your rock, and then you have your driftwood. So the layering, the order of events is you have your aquarium. First, you attach the rocks, certain rocks, to the aquarium with super glue. I know. What? Yes, they attach certain rocks to the actual aquarium to prevent movement of the aquascape, especially if they're going to have to move it. And then they attach the driftwood to the rock. Okay? That's tip number one. I had no idea that they actually attached. This was, I think I learned this last year, where I was like, no kidding. But this is crazy tip number two. When I think I had talked to Jeff at the Dallas Aquashella, and I had said, oh, that's really great, but a lot of us, we're not just going to dedicate a certain aquarium just for one scape. He's like, well, no, you just remove it then afterwards. What? What do you mean you remove it? Yes, you can, if you use super glue, you can just scrape it off with a razor blade. You can kind of pop off your rock off of the aquarium, scrape off the super glue, bam, like it was never done. Now, if you didn't know how you would actually attach pieces, for example, we have this piece of driftwood, and if you wanted to, this is what makes it easier, if you wanted to attach this piece of driftwood to this rock, you can use kind of like a filler. I've used filter floss just because we have gobs of it. Just rip off a little piece, put it in between wherever you want to attach it. Keep in mind where your sand and your gravel and all your substrate, your plants are going to go, so that you know that you're going to cover that. But you would super glue, add super glue to your little medium here, and this all becomes kind of like one. It's really cool. So it doesn't even matter, because you may think, well, it's just going to dissolve in the water, it's going to make a big mess. Not really. You're going to use as much as you need. Add some super glue. It's going to attach just fine, and then it's going to be buried with whatever you're using. You can also use a little piece of a cotton ball. In a pinch, I've also even used a little kind of square of a paper towel folded up. It works just great. And then it becomes really easier if you want to break apart your hardscape and use the rocks individually again. And then you just pull off as much cotton as you can, scrape it off of your hardscaping with like an X-Acto knife or razor blade. Be careful. And there you go, you're ready to go. It may leave some sort of mark, but when you're using super glue, chances are you're going to leave some sort of mark somewhere on your driftwood, or you. Just be careful. So those are your crazy, crazy cool tips regarding super gluing your aquascape together. yeah, you can use super glue to actually attach it to the actual aquarium, and you can remove it. And then don't forget your attaching mechanism that helps out profusely, because a lot of your rocks and your driftwood don't really marry completely together and fit really nice. And then you actually can sometimes use less super glue. It's not needed to use as much, and it just has a really great hold, and then you're easily able to break them apart. And let me know, have you ever used these tricks? Any or all of them? Do any of these tips actually blow your mind like they did with me? Thinking, oh yeah, you just scrape off the super glue from your beautiful glass aquarium. Who knew? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.